Okay, so I have to start with wait, why is he still wearing the blue shirt? We're done with the four Gospels. Well, part of it is I didn't know what section of the library to put the book of Acts in, our book for today. Uh, sure, obviously the New Testament, but from then, like, it's not an epistle, a letter to the church. It's clearly a part two, a sequel of the Gospel of Luke. They're meant to be read together, so while the book of Acts is not in itself a gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, the principal actor of the book of Acts is now the Holy Spirit. I would say that they're interrelated. So I'm going to keep the blue shirt on for our understanding because, like I said with Thursday, the book of Luke, if you're reading Luke, you should probably read Acts too. So this is part two. I mean, it's like watching, I don't know, it's like watching Avengers Endgame without having seen Infinity War. You're not going to know what's going on. I mean, you have some vague conception of what's going on, but it's not the same, right? Some of the teachings that Jesus has or moments are paralleled in the book of Acts. So, now we got that out of the way. The book of Acts. It is a book unlike any other. If matchmaking time, if you're looking for a book about the work of the church, in fact, the earliest work of the church, the formation of the church even, this understanding of now, the book of Acts begins with Jesus ascending into heaven. So now what? Where's God now? How is God alive among us? The book of Acts is probably a great book while in quarantine, right? How is God among us right now, post the Paschal mystery of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ? Okay? The book of Acts has many colorful characters in it. We have some of our old favorites from the Gospels. Peter the disciple makes a strong appearance. A bunch of the disciples, actually. Some of the ladies that we had in the Gospel. We have Paul of Tarsus in both his Darth Vader mode and then after his conversion. We have transformations of various figures in the book of Acts. We have miracles. Just because Jesus is gone doesn't mean that God is not still working, right? The book of Acts, let's just say a lot happens. I would say if this is the book you are going to read, take it slow. Don't try to read the whole book in one day, okay? Because there's a lot of stories. I mean, if you're going to turn not any, I think the book of Acts would be a good TV show. If you're going to turn any of these books into a TV show. I mean, you could make up any of them, but the book of Acts specifically is one that, because there's a lot going on. There's lots of episodes. So I would say, if you're going to read the book of Acts, read it in sections that kind of fit with the character you're with at that moment. If you've watched Game of Thrones, there's kind of all these different various storylines happening. Characters are everywhere throughout the land. That's kind of what the book of Acts is like. But the present character in all the scenes, of course, is God. God's everywhere. So yeah, book of Acts. Is it a history book? I would say no. I think it's still, like the Gospels, a living theological, sure you could say somewhat historical, document. It is chronicling what happened, but it has takeaway points. It has, kind of like we talked about with John, it has moments where you're supposed to do some lifting and see that this is these moments have meaning for us today. They're not just set in time in some history lesson that we can read about years later. So, I know that Karen Schenkenfelder was doing the Book of Acts in adult forum before all this happened. So if you were part of that, of course, you got a head start, and she did a wonderful job with that. And perhaps maybe when it's over, we can jump back into it. So another reason to read the Book of Acts is you could read and we'll be ready for discussion when we get back to it. So, the Book of Acts, a book unlike any other, and a sequel to Luke. So I read both of them together. Did I say that yet? Yes, I did. Great. All right. Have a good day.